Again, they have given some restriction. The user, whoever like subscribing for the Nitro instance and also for the provisional IOPS, only they have the opportunity, or they have the opportunity in order to connect to multiple EC2. That is a limitation. That is why I moved into EFS. In EFS, they are given option in order to connect to multiple EC2 instance as well as the outside the availability zones as well in EFS. Okay, then why now S3? So S3 is nothing but it is a simple storage service. S3, nothing but it is a simple storage service. That is called S3. The triple S, it is called S3. That's a simple storage service. This triple S only they are shortly calling as S3. So it is a simple storage service. And again, it is designed in order to mainly store the unstructured files. It's designed in order to mainly store the unstructured files. Then what is meant by structured and unstructured files? What is meant by structured and unstructured files? That is our next question. Structure is nothing but in a proper format or in a table format or in a proper for example, the tables, the database tables or any the Excels, it will be in a proper tabular column or proper the rows and columns. It will be in a structured manner. That is an, for example, see here, I can say it is an so I can say it is a structured data. I can say it is a structured data because it is in the proper format with each and every values and each and every rows has been filled properly, and the values which has been here has been clear enough in order to understand as well. But unstructured is nothing but it is not a format. It is not in format. Maybe I can say some text files or images or any videos or any audio files like that we can store here. Like that we can store here. But in EFS, it is mainly defined in order to store the structured storage. But the next question, does EFS accept the unstructured files or not? EFS also it is designed to accept both structured as well as unstructured file. But S3 they have designed in order to accept only the unstructured files. So with someone asked why we are moving into S3, you will be saying it is in order to design, in order to accept the unstructured file. Then they will ask, but EFS itself will accept the unstructured file, right? Then why we are moving into S3? You need to say EFS will accept both structured as well as unstructured file, but S3 is designed in order to accept only the unstructured files. You can it is mainly designed to accept the unstructured files. And what are the other like advantages in S3? Let's see now. So compared to cost, it is cheaper than EFS. It is cheaper than EFS. Why it is cheaper, right? EFS is mainly charging for their storage as well as the number of file operations. They will charge for the storage as well as the number of file operation. How many times the files comes in, how many times the files goes out, what is the readout operation. For every transaction or every operation, they will also charge. Apart from this, they will also start for the charge for the storage. But S3, right? They will only charge for the storage. They will only charge for the storage. They will only charge for the storage. Well, then ES3 is cheaper than EFS because EFS is charging for storage as well as the number of file operation, which means number of input output operation. But S3 is only charging for the storage. That is the reason it is cheaper than EFS. And it is also one more advantages we are moving into S3. And I can even say S3 is a separate storage service. It is a separate storage service. It is not way it is linked to EC2 and all. In no way it is linked to EC2 and all. In no way it is linked to EC2. It is a separate storage service in the S3. It is a separate storage service in the S3. Please give me 1 minute. It's a separate storage service in the like in AWS, not in S3. It is a separate storage service in the AWS as well. And one more super advantage is there is no limitation for the storage. You can get the unlimited storage, but EFS we have some limit and also we need to pay more than that. But in ES3, it is an unlimited storage. You can store like more TB or ND, more than a TB files as well you can save. But there is one more restriction here. Here, there is one restriction. You can store unlimited storage. That is not an issue. Like how much big files also this S3 will accept. How much big files also this S3 will accept. But they are giving only one condition. What is right? The single object, the one object which you are storing, right? That should not exceed 5 TB. It should not exceed 5 TB. Not exceed 5 terabyte. What is the single object? The single file or single image or single video. For example, if I am having 5 files, for example, if I am having the file, so first file, it is of 3 TB. So second file, it is of 2 TB. Third file, it is of 5 TB. And fourth file, it is of 6 TB. And fifth file, it is of 4 TB. So here, the first file 1 will be accepted. Maybe any movie, consider it as any movie. This movie file size is 3 TB. Yes, it is accepted. You can store all the files, but see here, the fourth file is more than 5 TB. Fourth file is more than 5 TB. So if it is more than 5 TB, S3 we cannot store as a single object. What you can do, you can split this movie itself as a part 1 and part 2. Then you can store. That is not an issue. Here I just splitting as a part 1 and part 2, like 3 plus 3 TB. Now it is accepted. Now it is accepted because part 1 object is 3 TB. The second part 2 object is 3 TB. Now it is accepted. But the single file, it should not exceed the 5 TB. The single file, it should not exceed the 5 TB. But here I'm just splitting. So here it is acceptable. 3 TB is acceptable and 3 TB. Like this, you can store n number of files. There is no restriction in storing the files, but the single object should not exist. Here I'm referring to an object as either text or images or videos or any files. I'm referring as an object over here because either S3 is a simple storage service or they will also call as simple object service also. They will also call as simple object service. They will also call as simple object service. So S3 is also called a simple storage service, or it is a simple object service. Object I'm here referring as text, images or videos or any other files which you are storing. And again, remember it is an unlimited storage. And again, only single object, it should not exceed the 5 TB. That is the only restriction they are keeping. That is the only restriction they are keeping. They are saying like you can store n number of files. I'm not going to restrict in that, but only one request, the one file, it should not exceed the 5 TB. Or file you are storing, right? It should not exceed the 5 TB. And since it like in this simple storage service, we have properties. Guys, whoever is scribbling. So we have properties, which is they will also call as meta file. Then what is meant by metadata file? What is the metadata file? What is the metadata file? So consider metadata file is nothing about the complete information about the storage. Metadata is nothing about the complete information about the storage. See, metadata is nothing but the detailed information, or it consider it is a log file, or consider it is an like very detailed and in-depth information about what you're doing. So not only here. So like, for example, I need a metadata of you. Like we need to say your name, your date of birth, your nationality, and again like what which school you have done, which is the college you have done, what is the work we are doing. This is the complete information about you. So that is a metadata. Metadata is nothing but the complete information about the person, or here the complete information about the storage. So this information will be considering who have pushed the object, or who have added the object, who have deleted the object. Like if someone comes and update the object, the information will be recorded, and whoever deletes the object, the information will be recorded. Even whoever logs into the storage, the information will be recorded. Who logs in, who logs out, what is the action they have done. The complete tracking will be done in this metadata file. The complete tracking will be done in this metadata file. So normally, if you go to the Google and search for any metadata file, not only in S3, this metadata file is nothing but like mainly it is for every purposes only. See here, this is here, even this is our metadata. What is the data, date taken, and the program name, date required, image ID, dimension, width, height, resolution, compression, and resolution unit. This is the complete information of this JPG image, of this JPG properties. So this is the metadata. So any for every object or every single thing which you are seeing, right? Everything having the metadata. By the same way, for S3 also we have the metadata, which is the complete information about the storage, which is the complete information about the storage. Okay, I have one question. Like EBS, what we like, for example, EC2, shortly what we will be calling in term of AWS, we'll be calling. What is the term we'll use in order to call this EC2? What we will be calling the EC2? This EC2, what is the term we will refer in order to call or create, and what we will be calling? Create and the word one is right? What is the term we will be referring in order to create an EC2?
Creating the instances.
Instance. Oh, correct. So EC2 we will be calling as instance. Then what we will call for EBS? EBS also we have one term. Create an EBS. We don't say right. Create an EBS. That is one term. Volumes, right? For EBS, we will say it is in volumes. No risk. Go to your AWS account. Here, if I type EC2, so under this we are getting as an instance, or whenever we create an EC2, we only get the option called instance only. If I type the EBS, there is no option called EBS. There is only we will call it as volumes. So by the same way, S3 we will call as bucket. By the same way, for S3 we will call as bucket. We don't say like create an S3. We will just use the term like create a bucket. If someone refers to you, do you know to create a bucket? Yes, they are referring to S3 only. They are not referring to any other services. They are referring to S3 because S3 is also called as bucket. How EC2 is also called as instance or server or any virtual machine, and EBS is also called as volumes. By the same way, S3 we are referring to the bucket. By the same way, S3 we are referring to the bucket. Okay. Then what is the advantages over EBS, EFS? Why we are moving into S3? As I already said, it is the cheaper and it is unlimited storage, and we can even store more files as well, larger data files as well. But there is one simple restriction, like single object should not exceed the 5 TB. Okay. Then we have two restriction in EBS. What is the restriction? We cannot connect to more than one instance, and we cannot connect to available out of the availability zones as well. That is the reason we are moved into EFS. EFS given us the option in order to connect outside the availability zones, in order to connect outside the multiple EC2s as well, in order to connect multiple EC2s as well. Now, this S3, right? This S3, with the help of S3, again, we can connect with multiple EC2. We can connect with multiple EC2. Also, we can connect with multiple availability zones. Yes, we can connect with multiple availability zones. We can also connect outside the regions as well. We can also connect outside the regions as well. So we can also connect outside the region. So EFS, we can connect within the region, but different availability zone is possible. But S3 is also providing a support in order to connect outside the regions as well. In order to connect outside the region with the help of CRR technique. CRR is nothing but it is a cross region replication. CRR is nothing but it is a cross region replication. With this technique, we are going to connect S3 with the multiple regions as well. Now, see, S3 is even cheaper. First thing we are moving into S3 is cheaper than EFS. Second thing, S3 is of giving the unlimited storage, but single object should not exceed the 5 TB. And we are calling the S3 as a bucket. What are the advantages? Yes, the S3, I can connect with multiple EC2. With the S3, I can connect with multiple availability zone. With the S3, I can connect with the multiple regions as well. Everything it has been exceeded, right? And again, it depends upon your project. So what they need, right? There depends upon that they will be choosing the storage type. But S3 has somewhat more advantages, but S3 is mainly stored for the unstructured file. If your project is having the structured format, or if your project is having the structured data, obviously they will be preferring the other storage services only. But S3 is mainly in order to design, in order to accept the unstructured files or semi-structured files, I can say. It is a partially structured, or I can say it is an unstructured file. Okay. Is any doubt till now? Is any doubt till now?
No.
No, nothing.
Like I can quickly search for S3. So see here, it is a scalable storage service in the cloud. See the logo itself, it's a bucket symbol. The S3 logo itself is denoting the bucket symbol. That is the reason we are, see here. I don't have an option to create a S3 and all. S3 is also called as bucket. So just directly you can click on create a bucket. Just to give the bucket name. See, one more main thing you need to note here. Whenever I start creating a bucket, see here, the region it has been stored to global. Region it has been stored to global. Whenever we create any other service, for example, I'll duplicate this page. The same thing, if I create EFS, see, it is still in North Virginia only. But whenever I click on S3, it is changed to global. It is changed to global. That is the reason S3 is the global service. S3 is the global service. S3 is the global service. See here, the bucket name must be globally unique and it must not contain spaces or any uppercase character. For example, I'll give the AWS bucket. If I click directly create, see it is throwing me an error. Bucket with the same name already exists. I don't have any buckets in my system. I don't have any buckets here. See here, I don't have any buckets over here. Then why it is throwing me an error? Then why it is throwing? It is already exists because it is not only checking in your local account, it is checking globally. Someone would have been already preferred this my AWS bucket name. It is globally checking whether this bucket name is available or not. Not only in your account, not only in North Virginia, not only in the Mumbai region you have selected. It is checking on all the regions. Globally, it is checking. So your bucket name should be unique. Your bucket name should be unique. Then only we can select the, or we can create that S3 bucket. Your bucket name should be unique so that we can create the bucket. So for example, I'll just mark it as my AWS bucket. Maybe I'll name it as today's date 29 0 2903. See here, it should not contain spaces or any uppercase characters as well. It should not contain spaces or any uppercase character. Maybe like hyphen or underscore is allowed, I guess. So I'm just giving my bucket name as my AWS bucket 29 and 03 today's date. Okay. Then I'll just if you want, you can select the region. Like maybe it is default, it is giving a North Virginia. You can select any other regions as well. Let it be. And okay, see here, I am by default, it is blocking all the public access. I'll come to this later. By default, it is blocking all the public access. By default, it is blocking all the public access. I'm not going to do anything over here. Directly click on create. Directly click on the create a bucket. Directly click on the create a bucket. See here, one bucket has been successfully created. One bucket has been successfully created and with a creation date. And this is my bucket date. So bucket successfully created. I'm clicking on this bucket now. Clicking on this bucket now. So see here, there is one option called upload. See here, there is one option called upload. Here we are going to upload the files manually. You are going to upload it manually. So whatever files you need, you can upload on your own. For example, if I want to upload the images or text files or any videos or any audio files, I can upload by clicking this upload button. I can upload by clicking this upload button. For example, like I have two files in my desktop. I click on this upload. Go to add files over here. It will browse on your system. So upload any files, that is not an issue. For example, I'm clicking on this EBS1 PNG. Any files, I'm just adding this EBS1 file. This size should not exceed the 5 TB, but you can add more 5 TB files. But this size, right? One object, this is one object. The one file which I uploaded is considered as an object. This object should not exceed the 5 TB. This is 33.5 KB. But for example, it should not exceed the 5 TB. It should not exceed the 5 TB size. Okay. Maybe I'll add one more files as well. Click on add files. Maybe I'll add one more files. Click on add files. Maybe I'll add this test2 image file. Maybe I'll add this test2 image file. This is up to 28 KB. Again, this should also not exceed the 5 TB. This should also does not exceed the 5 TB. Okay, so I have uploaded 2 files. Directly click on upload. Directly click on upload. See here, it is uploading and upload has been succeeded. Close this. See here, the files which we have uploaded has been listed over here. The files which we have uploaded has been listed over here. Okay, now I need to see what are the files which has been uploaded. I need to see what are the files which has been uploaded. So you just click on this. You just click on this copy URL. You just click on the checkbox which you want and click on this copy URL. Go to your open the new tab. If I open this, I'm just getting this error. If I open this, I'm just getting the error. The XML file does not appear to any style information, or see here, it is an access denied. You don't have an access to view the uploaded files as well. You don't have access to view the uploaded files as well. So it is this format, it is called XML format. See here, it is an XML. XML, I can say it is an, there are majorly 2 formats, guys. There are majorly 2 formats. One is XML and another one is JSON. XML, I can say it is an extensible. XML, I can say it is an extensible markup language. By the same way, JSON they will call as JavaScript object notation. For the same way, they will call as JavaScript object detection. XML will be similar to the HTML one. XML will be similar to the format of HTML. See here, error is opening here, error is closing here. Code tag is opening here, code has been closed here. Message tag is opening here. This slash symbol denotes the closage of the tag. See here, the message tag is closed. Request ID opening here, request ID has been closed. The same way, the HTML will look like. HTML is nothing but it is an hypertext markup language, whereas XML is nothing but it is an extensible markup language. That is the only difference. But again, the format will be somewhat similar to the HTML only. This format, it is the XML format. It is showing the message as access denied. You don't have an access to view this particular image or file or object which you have uploaded to the S3. So for that, what I need to do? Okay. So we have seen the XML. JSON I will show now how the JSON will look like. Go here. So as I shown, right, by default, we have blocked all the public access. While creating a bucket, I show that like a block all public has been clicked and it has been enabled. I would have shown while creating the bucket. If you want, I can show here. If you want, you can create one more bucket. See here. By default, it is blocking all the public access. No one cannot access the objects directly. So it is blocking all the public access. So you need to unblock this. You need to unblock this. So go to your bucket. Go to your bucket. Go to properties. Go to permissions. So see here. Block all public access. See, it is on. You need to off this. So edit and uncheck this box and click on save the changes. Just to mention confirm. Confirm. Now see here, it has been off. Block all public has been access has been off. Now if I try to access, see here it is still not. I am not getting the same message. Only I am getting the access denied message. I'm still getting the message as access denied. Why? I have enabled the or I have disabled the block public access option, but still it is not allowing us to see the image or view the object or access the object or anything. So for that, I will itself mention over here. In order to access the object, first thing I need to disable the all public access. I need to disable the all or all block need to disable the public all, or what is that option name is block all public access. Okay. Second thing, you need to generate the bucket policy. Second thing, you need to generate the bucket policy. You need to create your own policy. You need to create your own policy. Then only we can able to access this object. Then only we can able to access the object. So the second thing, we are going to create a bucket policy. Again, go to permissions over here. See here, there is an option called bucket policy. Here, there is no policy to display. See here, the bucket policy is written in the JSON format. The bucket policy is written in the JSON format. The JSON format, how it will look like? It will look in the format of key value pair. This JSON will look in the format of key value pair. So, for example, here name, colon, Nikhil. This is the key value. For example, class. So this is the JSON format. So JSON will be in the form of key value pair. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. So it is fully in the form of key value pair under the curly braces. It will be under the curly braces. So I can say this is one simple JSON format. This is one simple JSON format. By the same way, we need to generate the format or we need to generate the policy using JSON in order to access the object. In order to access the object. So click on this edit. Click on this edit. You need to put the JSON policy over here. So see here, there is policy examples. If you click on this policy examples, AWS is giving some policies in order to manage. See here, managing buckets, managing object access, like if based upon HCS or access for specific folders, or see here, this is an JSON key and a value. Key value statement is a key. See here, it is a value. Under the statement, it is a value. So under we have another key value as well inside this. I can say it is an JSON array. They will say it is an JSON array. You don't need to worry. You don't need to want to write it manually and all. Will the AWS itself will be generating us. Go to this policy generator. Go to this policy generator. Click on this policy generator. See here, there is one URL called AWS policy generator. The AWS itself is providing this policy generator, and select the policy type. Click on this S3 bucket policy. Click on this S3 bucket policy, because we are reading it now into S3 bucket policy. Click on this S3 bucket policy. Effort, it should be allowed. Effort, it should allow in order to access the object. It should not deny, it should allow. Principal is nothing but you can give start. So every objects or everything I need to watch, or everyone can access. There is no restriction. Everyone, whoever under this policy can access my object. So I just given star. Star denotes everything. Star denotes everything. So here, actions. This is the main thing I need to select. What I need to get, I need to get the object, or I need to see the object, or I need to access the object. For that, I need to allow an action, which is called get option or get object. See here, we have an option called get object. By giving this get object will be, because our aim is to get the object or view the object or access the object. So that is the reason I have selected get option or get object actions from this drop down menu. And see here, there is one more new thing called Amazon resource name. There is one more new thing called Amazon resource name. Just 1 minute. An option called Amazon resource name. So see, in API terms or any normal networking terms, we would have heard that URL is there. You would have heard URL. URL is nothing but it is an uniform resource locator. URL is nothing but it is an uniform resource locator. By the same way, we are also have for URN. We also have for URN. URN is nothing but it is an uniform resource name. Uniform resource name. We also have URI. URI is nothing but it is an uniform resource identifier. URL is nothing but it is an uniform resource identifier. Again, in terms of networking, we'll be using this terms, or in terms of API also we'll be using this uniform resource locator, which means the URL. The URL is nothing but this is your URL. This is the URL. This is the URL. This is the URL. So for that, I'm having this URL, URN, and URI and all. By the same way, in order to locate your Amazon, see here, we have the bucket URL. We have the bucket URL. Bucket Amazon resource name. You just copy this URL. If you just click on this copy symbol, it will be copied. Go here, paste it over here. Go here, paste it over here. So just click on add statement. See here, your principle is to allow everyone, and effect is to allow. What is the action? Get object action. What is the ARN? This ARN. Click on generate policy. See here, it is automatically creating one JSON. You don't need to manually write this JSON file or JSON format. It is our AWS itself using this policy generator. It is giving me some JSON. See here, what is the policy ID and what is the version and what is the statement, and the action is to get the object. Effect is to allow. What is the resource name? Our bucket resource name, and the principle is to allow everyone. So click copy this and paste it over. Copy this and paste it over here. if I click on save changes, it will not save. If I click on save changes, it will not save. See here, there is an unexpected error. Action does not apply to any particular resource or object in the statement. Action does not apply. Action is somewhat common, but which object you need to access? Which object you need to access? You need to access what are the files we had in our bucket. So we had two files, right? One is test1 and other thing is, I think, EBS. So we have two files. One is EBS1 and test2. Which file you want to access? Which file we want to see? You need to give this over here by giving slash. For example, if I'm accessing this ebs.png, you need to give this ebs.png over here. You need to give the ebs.png. Now click on save changes. And again go and refresh this page. See here, EBS image has been refreshed. Now I'll again go to the bucket. I try to access this test2. Click on this, copy URL, and again I'll paste this. See here, still it is accessed in it. Why it is still accessed in it? Can someone say why it has been accessed in it? What is the reason for this access denied? For EBS1 we have got, but for this one we haven't got. For the test2 image we haven't got. Why? Is any idea why it has been not showing? Because while generating the policy, what we have given, only for the EBS1 only I have given access. If I want to access this test2 PNG, I need to pass the test2 PNG. But my next question is, for each and every image, should I give like this? Here there is two objects, so we have given it manually. If there are more than 10 or more than 15 or more than 100 files, I need to manually, I cannot manually give each and every time the image name, right? So what I can do here, I can just mark as star. Here I can mark as star. Star denotes, as I said, everything. So every objects which is available in the bucket can be accessed now. See here, I'll refresh this page. I got this as well. And if you again check for EBS, I'll refresh this. I can also access this. So give star, right? It denotes all the objects in that particular bucket. It denotes all the objects in the particular bucket. This is how you need to create a bucket and you need to access the objects to the buckets. Is any doubt till now? Is any doubt till now? No, not. Next topic, we are given like S3 version. So topic is S3 version. Version. What is mean by versions? Different versions of your Android or of your iOS. There is a different option for iOS as well as Android. So that is a versions. So Windows OS we have a versions. For a Mac OS we have a versions. For everything we have a version. Version is nothing but to track all the history or track all the versions or track all the modified files or anything I can say. And to track all the modified files. Or track the previous changes or previous versions as track all the previous versions. For example, I have one file. The file name is file1.txt. File name is file1.txt. Under this file, first I'm writing hello. First I'm writing hello. Maybe consider it is my version 1. I have uploaded to S3. I have uploaded this file to S3. Second time I'm making changes in my local this file, like make it as hello world. So this is my version 2. This is my version 2. Third time I'm just I have uploaded this version 2 as well. Third time I uploaded hello world. Welcome to AWS. Hello world. Welcome to AWS. Consider it is my version 3. Consider it is my version 3. So when I enter this version, when I uploaded this version, there is something like happened in the bucket, or some like any fluctuation or any like issue or production issue has been happened or occurred in the bucket. When I upload this version, there is some issue has been occurred in the bucket. Because of this version, I have made something or any code changes or any other issue. The S3 would have been affected after uploading this version 3. Now, if you don't have this versioning and all, if you don't have this S3 versioning concept, what I need to do? I need to go manually. I need to take time in order to fix the issue, what it has been happened, and then only I can able to resolve the issue. By the meantime, our server would have been down. By the meantime, our operation would have been down. So we cannot do that. Like we cannot wait till this issue is resolved, right? It might take even 1 day. It might take even 2 days or 3 days or 1 week. But for that time, we cannot wait for till the issues get resolved, right? For this purpose, I'll just immediately roll back to the version. This version 3 can be released anytime. That is not an issue. The version 3 can be released anytime. Because of this, there is no impact. But at least the whole functionality should work fine, right? At least the whole functionality should work fine, right? For example, in Amazon today, they are creating one option. For example, today, like in Amazon. So let's consider in Amazon. Let's consider in Amazon. Today they are going to introduce one need help option. Today they are going to introduce one need help. But already previous versions we have sign in, email, phone number, continue button, this lines and create a new account and all in previous version itself we are having. But today they are thought of releasing this need help button. Need help button. This need after uploading this need help button or uploading this feature, there is something occurred in this page. No customer not able to log in into the Amazon. They are not able to purchase the item. Again, it is impacting the whole business. It is impacting the whole business. But this need help, this is not that much important in order to like for the customers, because till these days they don't have the need help button. They can bear for another 1 or 2 days as well till the issues get fixed. But for this need help, I cannot block the whole website. I cannot put the website is under maintenance and message and ask the customer to wait and all. Again, my customers will be moving back to other retail sites like Flipkart or Myntra or AJIO or any other sites they will be moved. But like immediately, if I face any issues in this version, I need to roll back to the previous version as working earlier, so that I can go and check what is the issue happened over here. I can go and check what is the issue behind this. I can do the analysis as well, and then I can fix. Then we can release to it later. But as of now, if there is any issues, I need to roll back again to the previous version. So by the same way, if you upload any file to S3, if there is any issues in this file 3, I need to immediately roll back to the previous versions. I need to immediately roll back to the previous versions. By default, in S3, this versioning will be disabled. By default, in S3, this versioning will be disabled. This versioning will be disabled. Okay, by default in S3, this versioning will be disabled. Okay. So I'll show here. Go to your AWS, click on your bucket, go to your properties. See here, there is one option called bucket versioning. By default, it has been disabled. There is one option called bucket versioning. By default, it has been disabled. By default, it has been disabled. That is the reason I said by default, it has been disabled. So maybe I'll create one more bucket. I'll just mark it as 390323. This is my bucket, and I'll unblock the public access, and it will ask you to acknowledge. Click on this. See here, by default, bucketing version is disabled. I have enabled this bucket version. By default, bucketing version is disabled. Now I have enabled this bucketing version and click on create. Click on create a bucket. Click on create a bucket. So I'll open this bucket. I'll also open this bucket. So this is my bucket one, and this is my bucket two. So this is my bucket one, and this is my bucket two. See here, in this bucket, it has been disabled. What has been disabled? Bucketing version has been disabled. There is no option called show versions options over here. But see, in this bucket, we have one toggle button called show versions. We have an option called show versions. See here, there is one option called show version. But here, there is no option called show versions because here bucketing version has been disabled. That is the reason after enabling, we will get an option called show versions. After enabling, we will get an option called show versions. We get an option called show versions. Now, okay, so I'll show the implementation tomorrow because it will take another 30 minutes. If I start now, it will take another 30 minutes. I don't have time. Okay, still now any doubt on this session? If you have any doubts, just ask me. We have around 6 minutes.
No, sir.
Guys, others quickly confirm.
After creating bucket, we can able enable that one
Yes,
version of
yes. You
Can
after,
we
after, see here, go to properties. There is one bucketing version, right? Here also you can disable as well. You can enable or disable even after creating as well.
okay.
These others, Naveen, Prashant, Raghavendra. Okay, yes, if you don't have any doubts, let's connect tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll be completing this S3 versioning, as well as we have one more concept called posting the static website on S3. And once done, we'll start the IAM as well. And, let's connect tomorrow.
Okay.
Please upload the video.
Yeah, sure. I'll upload.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me some time. After 10 o'clock, I'll upload.
Yeah, okay, sir.
So kindly upload the notes also.
Yeah, I'll send this notes.
Yeah, okay.
Again, after 10 o'clock, I'll be sending.
No issue.
Okay.
Okay.